Good day, everybody. Tracy Brown. I'm not doing weird lighting for any weird reason here. I wanted to show you something. So come with me, and I'm going to talk through my new our little family fun little project. So I just want you to see this real quick, just for fun, just because I love sharing with you all. So anyway, weird lighting is because I don't know if you all saw my picture yesterday, and I have no idea if you can see them or not because I'm not a good camera person. If you can see these girls, I'm trying to see if you can see them. I can't tell. But anyway, I just wanted you to see my little, that's not mine, but my family's little new friends. We are basically I have some other friends who are going to raise chickens, and they asked if we wanted to have a couple for a while, for several weeks, that way until they get bigger. So anyway, we are working on getting a little bit bigger home for them, until they have to go back to their forever home. But anyway, I just wanted to share all that with you. They're so fun, they're so cute, and they're fun to take care of and to figure out what their needs are. And it was interesting, yesterday we had a power outage, which is like, oh my goodness, these things have to have like a certain temperature, no too cold, too hot, not great for them. So it was really interesting, us trying to find a way to meet their needs was not a question. And so they're alive and well. They only had power out for a couple hours, so they made it just fine. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you because I thought it would be fun to remember that we all have needs, and we all have needs that are heightened under certain circumstances. And when we live under this umbrella of oppression and diet culture, and it makes us like disbelieve that our bodies might need what it needs. And I see this come up, honestly, in all body sizes, shapes, experiences, where, if you've been on any kind of diet, they'll tell you, okay, well, you need X amount of really low calories that is probably not even your basal metabolic rate amount of calories. You need that much to lose weight. Or maybe you didn't know the numbers, but you discovered that on your own, through your own diets. And when we do that, we start to get this false belief that, well, this is all I need, and I can get the body I want, or I can lose weight and feel more confident and feel better, and this is all I need. And there's this sticky glue that happens with that amount of food, or that number, or that body sensation amount of food, that when we start to do our recovery work, or say I'm not going to restrict anymore because I know this restricting causes my obsession, my deprivation-driven eating. It definitely takes away from my freedom in life. But when you start to increase food, your brain clicks in, oh, well, that's more than you usually needed to eat, and you don't really need that much. And I eat more than what the average person eats, so I'm out of control. I know that stuff is really, really hard. I totally get it, to be able to suspend, almost like compartmentalize in your mind, okay, well, that's what I did when I used my eating to disassociate myself, or this is how much I ate to try to lose weight. But what I actually need to be more thriving and be more fully functioning, and not to be obsessive, and to feel better and to think better and to have a better affect and to have a better mood, is something much more. And it's not just the calories, much more. It's I don't wait too long, or I don't put off meals, or I don't not pick out some of my favorite things when I shop for my family. It's not just what everybody else wants. Or I'm kind of recognizing that I like to eat more often, and that's what my body prefers and needs, but it doesn't happen to fit into the way I think I should be living my life. So there's all kinds of things that you're going to bump up against. And I wish I had two hands free. I'm holding my phone. But it's almost like, two fists, like rams bumping up against each other sometimes. So it's really important to recognize this voice that's saying that, I don't need, more food, let's say. Well, it's not that you don't need more food. It's that we don't like what might happen as a result of more food. And so that's going to bump up against our old diet culture beliefs. But I think even more deeply than that is that, honestly, I don't run into a person who hasn't had some kind of feelings of too much about their worth, their needs, their feelings, or whatever being met, who hasn't struggled with food. And so I think it bumps up against this deeper layer and level that, you all know me. You watch my videos long enough to know that, like, I don't do surface very well. I'm almost like, I'm not a very good small talker. And so I don't do, nutrition and recovery coaching at a surface level either. There's a level of like, what is it about you getting your needs met that feels so uncomfortable? And, that's the level at which we're doing this work, is recognizing, oh, I don't feel like I deserve to get my needs met, or I feel like my needs are just actually too much, or it's selfish, or I shouldn't need it. And I want you to really think about these things. You might want to even take a step back from this video and come back and rewatch it at this point, because you might need to go get a sheet of paper, or get your computer, or get a sheet of paper and pen and get your computer and start to write out where this came from, that you believe that your needs are too much, or that they're going to put somebody else off, or if it's, you might find that's really related to like, I don't feel like they're going to get met anyway, or they don't matter, or I don't matter. And so that's where that underlying, I don't need that many calories. You might have the total opposite evidence. You might have total evidence that the more that you meet your energy requirements, the better your mood is, the better your energy is. The more you just say like, I'm really feeling like a bagel today, and I'm going to have that, and you do it, and you do that stuff consistently, what you find is like the obsession with a food group in general starts to float away, because you have evidence. Well, nothing happened. I didn't explode. I'm okay. You might notice that like once you drop this belief that you don't need sugar, okay, are you going to die without sugar? No. But everything that we eat at the end of the day, turns into glucose that we need for energy, for our brain function, our liver function, everything. I mean, we run on carbohydrates. We really need it. I know people say, no, I do better with less carbs. I'm not talking about a medical nutrition therapy issue right now. This is definitely for another video, for individual work. We all have our individual needs. I totally get that. But this idea that we don't need certain food groups is, again, based on this idea that, I don't deserve it, or I won't get the right body that will get me the love that I want. That comes from all of that. It's not really about that sugar is bad, or that it's not okay for you to have bagels, or that you don't need more food than you think you need. So I think this video is really important to take some time, go get your, again, I would highly recommend, if you're at this point in the video, you've made it this far, watch to the end, and then go back and watch it again, and just start to and pause it and make some notes about what's coming up for you. And you'll know it when you're like, I don't want to watch this. Or you start to feel sensations in your chest or in your body. If you're having any kind of hesitance, or you feel your body respond to this, there's some stuff in here for you. So I hope this video was helpful. I do have a question here that I want to answer, because it's live. I do a lot of these live, so let's answer that question. All right, so my reader here, yep. Well, that's the thing. We are all individuals, and we all have differing amounts of needs. And let's just put in the context of food, not in terms of like sleep, play, connection, safety, support. We're not going to even go there today, which I think is totally a part of this conversation. But just from the food perspective, is that you might be watching this, and you might be in a season in your life where you need to eat way more than everybody else eats, because you need renourishment. You need to be eating 2 desserts a day because we're making peace with that. You might need to be doing that, and you might be in a situation where that's more than everybody else. The old diet mentality, the disordered eating voice is going to say like, oh, well, you must not need that much because they're not eating that much. You can't listen to that voice. That's just the bottom line. You have to push back. You have to fight back and be grounded, be in your feet, be in your life, and remind yourself. You might need to keep a list around you of like, when I don't meet my needs, this is what happens. Not as a negative reinforcer, but just in like a reality check. It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. It really doesn't. If your goal is to be fully, to work towards being fully present and embodied and nourished and trusting in yourself, we almost have to care like it doesn't. You almost have to be a little bit more or a lot more willing to say, well, no matter what anybody else is doing, this is the path I have to be on. You have to burn that bridge to trying to be like everybody else. And at the end of the day, that's kind of the bottom line. That's the only way. And I know that's scary. I know that's super scary. I know that bumps up again all of our stuff around like wanting to kind of be part of the bigger group, that there's some I know there's safety that you don't stick out, you don't look different, people can't like draw attention to you because of differences with your food. And that's something in itself. When we don't want to be seen, there's something in there that needs to be healed as well. So I can go on and on about this topic and all the nuances and the depth of what it is we're saying with our denial of our needs, but just know that it does have a purpose. And it does have something for you to look at. So if you're struggling with like all the, I mean, I really look at all these things as like this big spider web of all this interconnected stuff that we have used food to help manage, to make meaning of, to like tame the chaos essentially. And obviously only worked a really short period of time. Otherwise you wouldn't be out here in the wider world looking for something different for this situation. So the only thing I can say is everything I did already today is to go deeper, to not be afraid. If you need more help, this is the stuff I'm really dedicated to helping people really unpack all these different layers of things to get to the heart of it, get to the root of it, so we can all move on. We're all put here for a reason and a purpose, and it's certainly not to be wrestling with us our entire lives. So, my hope and my goal here and is to help you get to the root of this as much as you can and provide as much safety and support, and not just take away the stuff that feels icky, but add in true safety and stability, and learn how to be our own decoders and navigators of this stuff. Not just kind of be I don't know what the right word is, but like I want you to be your own captain.